Okay, hello. Let's see, I'd started a minute earlier because I had some issues streaming yesterday. I was doing a stream with Yuho or Bbra. He does a lot of React stuff related to books and, well, generally JavaScript, really. And I know him from back when. And we were doing a stream together for an hour, but something was messed up on Google, and I even saw it recording. Like YouTube Studio said it was recording. I saw the video being recorded, but when we stopped streaming, it was suddenly gone. But yeah, so everything looks good here now. So let's just get into this. Okay, so we have what we did last time. We got our list with the data we wanted. So what we're going to do today is basically create the UI for this list of items. We have these two different screens, one for the current week and one for the next week. And they use the data, well, there are different dates, of course, but they also use the data a little bit differently because the what's this like? Well, I guess I don't really use it differently, but anyways, they tapping the different days point to different dates. So we kind of need a wrapping component to deal with that. So we have this edit current week. So what we need to do first of all is to have this back button. So maybe we can just steal it from, yeah, maybe we should make this like a UI thing. Maybe. Let's copy it for now. Yeah, and Stitches has been released now by modules. I made a presentation. Maybe I can. Yeah, like if you search for like React Finland Alphony. Yeah, this is it. The Stitches presentation just talks about the story of Stitches and that modules, like modules app, has taken over the project. Yeah, anyways. So I'm running on an old version here, so we need to update that at some point. Anyways, how does this work? Do we just put it in here? I guess not. Oh, this is just the position. We need an actual, let's see. Back button. Let's just copy it. We'll have to figure out. That's the difficult thing, is like, when do you start use actions? When do you start taking into account reusability? Let's see, actions. Open screen, shouldn't that be on? Oh, what the hell? Use actions. There we go. When do you start to take into account reusability? Now I'm doing two things at the same time. Let's see. Let me just fix this first. Let's just call it list. Style. Well, let's just use a div. Let's see. List, and then let's put this thingy in here. Yes, when do you start to take into account reusability? So typically what I do when I see things being duplicated, I allow it because I don't know to what degree it actually will be duplicated. Like this back button. I don't know, maybe we need to position it differently on this page. I don't know yet. So I just copy it over first and then explore, and then I make a decision later. Which typically doesn't happen, so it stays duplicated. But I think that's better, because typically you get back to this code at some point, and then you want to make some changes specific to that page, and then you know you don't break the other thing. So it's easier to make changes later, especially if you're a different developer. Because if you have all these abstractions to, one thing is having abstractions to reduce complexity, but to reduce duplication, it's not that good because it just makes things more rigid. And again, it's like the only reason you kind of do it is to, well, you often do it for consistency, of course, but at the same time, it's having that consistency makes it more rigid by its definition. So it's, yeah, it's a difficult decision to make, but I typically push it ahead as far as I can. Yes, so this list, we need to give it some padding top. Oh, I don't remember. What did we... Oh, it's such a long time since we did this. So padding top. Don't we have like styles for this? Or like, yeah, we have spacing for this. Why doesn't it pop up? Oh, there we are. Yeah, of course, because it's numbers. Oh, that's kind of annoying. Anyways, let's add some padding. So the thing is, like, this list needs to be scrollable. And that's the tricky thing. Because now yes, this is a good point. Like the back button now, I think it's floating button. Is the floating button static? No, it's absolute. And we probably want it to be static. Yeah, I'm actually not sure how we're going to do this because we need this thing to scroll. And in my experience, you just want the whole body to scroll. That gives the best experience on mobile. But then we have this back button up here. And that will it will overlay the items, which is kind of annoying. We're getting into styling issues. So yeah, what they do on mobile, I guess they kind of automatically, if you scroll down, you kind of get this bar on the top. But I have no idea how to do that. Yeah. Yeah, but what we can do, we're going to add this back button, but we're not going to add it as a floating button. We are going to create like a bar thingy that's fixed on the top here. But then it's kind of on a different spot than the other one. It should really be on the same. Like, why is it so... Oh, I guess I have a ton of padding or something here. Ugh. Well, I don't want to talk that much about styling because it's so freaking difficult. Just generally do design. Should we have a bar? I thought maybe we could have like a bar at the top here and then it has some transparency or opacity, so that you'll kind of always see it. And then when you scroll, the stuff kind of just scrolls off the top of the screen. Yeah, and that reminds me, I don't think... Yeah, we have padding there, so that's good. Oh, what's happening here? Why is it like that? Yeah. Oh, isn't this... Oh, container? What's the difference between a container and a screen container? Max width? Was this the thing I couldn't figure out? Max width 700 pixels? But this is like going way beyond that. Oh, it's because it's not centering. Because I couldn't figure out how to center. Wasn't that the thing? Margin. Yeah, so that's kind of weird. I did this. Yeah, I wonder why this doesn't work. Because I did this. I did this on a different project and then it worked instantly. This margin 0 auto thing. Oh, is it because it's not added at all? Oh, this is interesting. It doesn't look like it's being added. This must be a Stitches bug. Let me try. Did I add some utilities on this thing? No, I didn't. Anyways, margin left, auto, margin right, auto. Something happened. There we go. Oh, that seemed to be yeah. But anyways, in the official release of Stitches, it does something called shorthand parsing. So yeah, should be working there. Anyways, yes. Now we have our button there. Edit current week. Padding top. Let's give it a bit more. Okay, for now it will just scroll the damn arrow off the screen. I don't care. That's something we can fix later. Let's rather create the card for giving the description of the... yeah, and that's also weird. Like we added an item that doesn't have a description and I have no idea how I was actually able to do that. What's happening here? Weird. So how was I able to do that? Oh, what? It doesn't look like we're passing the... So add backlog item. Doesn't look like we're actually... yeah. Oh, yeah, I remember now. I remember. It's my bad. Oh, I was wrong. Where are we? Here we are. It's in our effect. We messed up something here because I changed the position of removing the... where are we? Add backlog item. No, sorry, not the effect, but the action. Backlog item, add backlog item. Here we are resetting the state before we actually use it. You see here, there it is. So we want to, yeah, I'm not sure why I did it all the way up there. Let's do it down here again. Cool. Anyways, yeah, I saw this. There was a typing error here that annoyed me. Docs. Days by backlog. Oops, sorry. Oh yeah, it's not days. Days by backlog item. There we go. Yes, and that's the action that receives them. Anyway, sorry about that. So we need these cards, and they're going to be their own components. And they are going to take... they're basically just going to take the ID of the backlog item, and then they're going to grab their own data directly from the state store. So let's create, and since this is a component that actually connects to Overmind, it's going to be a component. So let's call it backlog item. as React from React export const backlog item react.fc. And this is just going to take the ID, and then this is going to deal with everything on its own. And this ensures that it only renders when it should and all that stuff. Yes, let's just maybe we can write out the code there. So what we're going to do, we're going to grab the state, use app state. Did I call it use app state? No. What did I call it? I'm confused. Oh, this is such a long time since we worked on this. Why isn't the hooks there? Oh, wait, what? Now I'm super confused. Oh, did I put it into hooks? Oh, interesting. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? That's not typical for me to. I probably did it for a reason, but it's not typical of me of doing that. Anyways, use app state, and we probably need the actions as well. And then let's return something. So we card style that we're using a div. Oh, so annoying that it doesn't pick it up. I notice I'm a little bit cranky, and it's because I'm working on something in Codesandbox, which I've been working on for like 4 days or something. We have this GitHub integration, and we have been a little bit too ambitious with it because we implemented proper syncing and conflict resolution. Like, we really pumped up the user experience of the GitHub integration, but like using the GitHub API to simulate Git is insanely tricky. And then then I thought it was done, and it's like insanely complicated. Try to test all the scenarios. And then there were some issues related to that, which just makes me grumpy when we ship stuff that doesn't work. But it's just way too complicated to test it all. And then we got into issues with binary files. So dealing with binary files in Codesandbox works. Like, since we're using the GitHub API, we have to deal with that in a special way. And it turns out the way we dealt with it wasn't compatible with the existing way we synced GitHub to like the source sandbox. And then I found a way to deal with that. But then it turns out when you have a private repo, we have everything's different with private repos. And then it didn't work there either, and trying to find a way to deal with it. And it's just moving so slowly, and I'm so sick and tired of working on it. And I just want to make this thing work, because it's a nice upgrade, but it's kind of temporary, because what we want is real Git integration, and then we don't have to deal with any of this stuff. And it will come, but it will take some time, because it's a huge infrastructure architecture decision on how we're going to do that. It even affects the product itself, how we're actually going to do that. So it's such a huge decision to make, and we have to take our time on that so that we make the right decision. Anyways, just had to get that out. Okay, so we have a card. And what we can do here is backlog item, because what we can do now, since we have the ID, we can point to backlog, and then we can use the ID to find the backlog item. And that will give us By the way, let's remove these two backlog items that doesn't have a description. Oops. I'm a little bit all over the place. I'm noticing that. But that's typically how I work. I'm a little bit all over the place. So let's find me backlog. So which one of the, okay, so let's just add something here. Blippity blop. And then we had this other one. Blippity bloop. Was that the same? Oh, almost. Anyways, yeah, this is a nice thing about Firebase. It just, you get real time by default. Anyways, so in this card we need to have the description. So maybe we can just add that for now. Backlog item dot description. And then we're going to use the weekday picker very shortly. But I think this is good for now. So when we iterate here now, we are going to, oh yes, we also, oh god damn it, no, that doesn't matter, that doesn't matter. So our backlog list, this could actually be a list of IDs. Actually, maybe we can do that because we don't actually need the list, we just need the order of the IDs. I think. Okay, let's have the backlog item there, and then we'll see what we do with that later. But backlog item, the ID should be backlog item.id. I could also pass in the backlog item itself here. That's also possible. Oh, backlog item. But I like to be explicit about, let's see, backlog item. I don't like passing like state values around. I like to pass references, because then you don't think about, is it the same? Has it changed in terms of rendering? If I were to use like, let's React memo and stuff, the backlog item itself doesn't really change, but you make changes to the backlog item, and then you kind of have to think about how does that affect rendering. So yeah, I like to pass references because then it's much easier to think about when does the component render, because you only deal with strings or numbers. So we use the backlog item ID as the key as well. Which means that we can now use, let's just do that. Let's use a React memo around this immediately because we're dealing with a list. And now we know that whenever this ID changes, that's the only reason why it will re-render from the outside. And there we can see we have our items in there. That's awesome. Cool. So let's try to add the weekday picker as well. See how that looks like. I guess we can create like a own description kind of thing. Cons, and we can style this later. Description. Yes, there we have our description, and then yeah, so we have to go through. Okay, so this is the backlog item. What we also need is the like the days that has been picked. So how do we deal with that? So since we are on the current week, we have to figure out what is the range of dates we want to look at. And this is, of course, based on what do we consider as the first day of the week. And currently it's Monday. But we have kind of we have thought about all of this. So we should be able to change that later if we want to do that. Yeah, so what I want to basically Yeah, I just want to grab the dates from the previous week, so we can create a utility for that. If we don't get first day, yes, so we can that's get current weekday ID. This is get first day of last week. What's last week? Is it the previous week? Get first day of, because that's what you say. You say last week I did this thing, but let's see where we use that. Damn it. Can I do this? Oh, I didn't. We don't have that. Interesting. Get first day of last week. I guess we're using it as an action somewhere, or in the effects. There we go. Yeah, so that's what I meant. Get first day of, let's call it previous week instead. Utils, get first day of previous week. Unexpected token. Oh yeah. Okay, so we can use this get first day of previous week, and that gives us the first date, but we also want, yeah, so get days of previous, well, sorry, this is current week. So we want, but we do want, we want the days of the previous week, because that will indicate to us, because this is part of the UI. When you select a weekday, we give an indication what was the day you last did this thing. So when you're kind of looking at the current week, you can see that there's an indication on Thursday on a backlog item, and that means that that was the day you did this thing the previous week. So that's why I need that data. So get days of previous week. So I want an array of the dates for the previous week, and I want an array of the days of the current week. Those are the things I need. So get days of previous week. So basically, what was that? Array from. How do you like create an array with empty? Empty values. I just want to. Yeah, it's fill. That's the thing. New array. Yeah, this is too fancy. Yeah, let's use fill. So we want to create a new array which has the length of 7. Then we fill that with whatever. Let's just do 0, and then we map over that to fill it up with actual dates. So the way we do this is we need to get the first day of the previous week. But is this correct? Because this is today. Oh, this is wrong, because this is the first day 7 days back. That's not what we want. We want to get Monday. Yeah, we want to get Monday. Well, yeah, we do want to get Monday. So this is actually wrong. How do we do that? Oh, we're starting to push it now on time. yeah, I think we're just going to finish this function, and then we'll need to figure out how to grab these things. Let's see. Anyways, what we want to do here is how are we going to calculate this? Because now I'm getting it in this format. Can I use that? Oh, wait, because I don't want to format. Yeah, so we kind of want to create another function here. So let's put that get first day of previous week. And then it's naming again, date. Okay, so this should be, but this should be related to, yes, this is going to be tricky to implement later if we want to have like dynamic first day, because then we have to pass the first day through all these functions. But anyways, let's think about that later. So we'll do that, but then there's probably some function that yeah, so we kind of have to know how many days since Monday, and then we kind of have to add that. Okay, let's create a comment there. I want and first want the date of the want Monday of previous week, not 7 days back. And then this is okay, because this one will then to do then we can use, then we just use this to get like the first, and then we'll just add 1 day at a time and format it. That will give us the array we want. So maybe we can just do that. And that's called add days. And then we get that thing, and then mmdd. Add days. Oh, sorry. That's how we do it. We add it by index, and then we want to format this by this. Something like that. So what we're doing is we grab the first day of the previous week later in the next session. We'll fix that. So we get Monday, and then we just go through 7 days by adding the index. So the first day will be the Monday. We get that formatted. Then the next iteration, it will be Tuesday. We get that day formatted, and then we get an array of the days that we want to use to look up and see if we have actually toggled any backlog items on those days. Cool. So we don't have to do there, but we need to fix this thing, because now like it's Tuesday today, which means it would just go back to Tuesday, which is not a huge deal, because you can't really, like, we're disabling the days you passed anyways, but just for consistency, we always work with weeks. Cool. I think that's it for now. So we got a little bit further. Oops. But yeah, we still have some stuff to do here. But tomorrow we should have, it would be fun to see how this weekday picker actually works out on each of the cards and per profile. So Yeah, cool. Maybe we should commit this. Add a backlog item component. Commit that stuff. Nice. Cool. That's it. I'll see you tomorrow, and hopefully I'll get this Codesandbox stuff fixed today, and that will lighten my mood a little bit, which is always good. I'm actually looking into, I always think about this stuff, like how do you keep yourself like it's not about being this happy person, but it's just being in balance so that you don't feel like it's really, how should I explain this? Like I very often feel I'm very often in a bad mood without knowing why I'm in a bad mood. There's nothing specific that causes me to be in a bad mood. And then it's like, okay, so it's a subconscious thing, or is it like a biological thing in terms of, did I get enough sleep? Have I eaten enough? Am I stressed out about something? Is there something I'm like nervous about that I don't feel nervous by thinking about it, like consciously, but I am subconsciously nervous about it? So I'm kind of trying to figure out these things to kind of avoid getting into those situations, because it's really nice to just feel good. But there's all these like perceptions that affects how you feel, and it's kind of interesting to figure out how this stuff actually works, because you would think it's very obvious, just do things that are good for you, but for me, I don't understand how my environment affects my mood. Like I don't see the linked dots there, so I'm trying to figure that out. It's like a hobby. Anyways, thanks for now. We'll talk later. Bye bye.